Hello everyone, good evening. I'm happy to be back and I hope you're all doing well and you're having a very nice time wherever you may be. I decided to go or dive a little bit deeper in my story through showing you artwork that I made before I started with the Purple Phoenix. This is artwork I made I started making in 2015 and I finished it in 2018. It's a whole journey to explain it to you, but through explaining you this journey I can also explain you how I learned to paint and how I got here, so how I got from there to here. So you can see, like, I started this painting with like these squares in all the different kind of colors and this white field and then this fire flame and the squares here. This was different color. And at that time I was kind of investigating the digital world and digital art, and I was finding ways to express my experience from the digital world in the 3D world, so our physical world. So I always have been fascinated by different kind of dimensions and how to express them in the 3D world, to show something to the spectator, to the person who is looking at it, like to show you something, to point you to something. But that time I was really focused on that, and I had kind of an ideal in my head of what I wanted to do or what I wanted to represent as an artist. I'm happy I stopped there somewhere. So I started painting the works, and then during the process of this painting, or the painting of these works, I remember very well, I finally ended up selling one, and I was able to go to Nepal. So I made a journey to the east, to Nepal, and then I came back, and yeah, I had some years of practice, and especially like with the learning to know the body, mind and breath movements, like Lujong I was teaching, I was practicing. Lujong is Tibetan yoga exercises. And yeah, I kind of started rolling into more the spiritual world, and also starting to discover the different aspects of the elements like fire, water, air and earth. And like they started to slip into my works. Also the fascination for the nature and for animals and for existence in itself, very existential. I had some very existential periods. It's all more visible in this work. So I'm going to show you a sequence of 4 works to start with, just to show you how I kind of did it. So when I came back from Nepal, I started painting the water, the lotus. Over there in the water you can see like white spots. It's actually the moon that is reflected in the water. It's a symbol for the mirror, our nature of mirror things and mirroring things, and seeing each other or seeing yourself in every aspect of nature and of each other, so that everything is a mirror for each other, or we are kind of mirroring each other's ideals, or things that we need to show to each other in order to grow, in order to transform. And if something like is very aggressive to you, or you stumble onto something and you feel like your emotions are increasing and you are kind of out of your comfort zone. Mostly that's because there's something inside you that has been mirrored that would like to be transformed. I would say like would like to get back to its natural state, and which is love, our universal consciousness. So I was already working with those concepts, like the lotus. When I went to Nepal, and all that time I actually studied Buddhism, and the lotus or in Asia, I think it's in more countries than Nepal, and in more religions than Buddhism. The lotus has the symbol of being able to grow and to be so pure, but with the roots in the dirt, like in the earth. So it's a symbol of your purity, but actually that it's because of the dirt, the earth, the things you neglect, or like the things that you don't want to see. Those things actually show you where you can grow and grow as pure as a lotus flower, something like that. Of course, everyone has his own kind of way of explaining this. There is a wolf. It was inspired on one of my dogs. I always had this ideal of living in the forest with one of my half dog wolves and being wild and just being together with the elements, and I really longed for that for a very long time, until I kind of realized that was not maybe not what I had to do. So I gave up on that, but of course we still love to go to nature and would love to spend more time in free wild nature. But yeah, I'm creating the nature I want to see with my paintings. So there's a dinosaur figure. It has like a little white squares, and that was more like also the start of, or a symbol for the constant change, and like the ideal of the fact that we are living forever. Like I don't know how you say immortality, almost like immortality, and also the different dimensions in time, like the fact that there is different kind of time dimensions or time lapses that are all taking place at the same time, in the same moment, but we kind of try to construct it or try to understand this with our brain in time. Like this has been done. But all these aspects, this has been done and then this is now, but all these aspects are kind of still here, and you can still encounter or visit those times or those energies. And that was also kind of the purpose of the work, was kind of to show you all these different kind of dimensions and the illusion of time and space and the illusion of separateness. So like there's a strange figure beneath, and that's me with a heart on my eye chakra, third eye chakra. I think I was not aware at that time about third eye chakras, and but it was like there's water here above my head, and it stands for all the confusion and the confusion of thoughts, like, and also maybe for the fluidity of thoughts and I'm looking for this word and I cannot find it. Like when something vanishes, or vanitas it's called in the art world, when something vanishes or passes by, like every thought passes by and it's fluid as water and it comes and it goes. And I was learning about meditation in that period, so I was learning about my emotions, about my thoughts, about my feelings, about existence, about like um, all this kind of aspects we have that if mostly or it's possible that we are not even aware of them, and suddenly you have this kind of experience that you are aware that you are more than a three-dimensional being. So these works are kind of showing that process of mine. I did some exhibitions with them, but I think they were kind of difficult to understand. I don't know, maybe it was not the right time yet. Yeah, the water also, I wanted to begin with this work because of the water. It suits the time of the year again, and also here you can see drips of water. Yeah, that's it actually. Back then I didn't realize I could paint. So I was learning myself actually to paint by almost like saying to myself, now you have to paint that and it has to be perfect and you have to continue until it's perfect. So that's how I taught myself to paint. I went to different art schools, but I learned some techniques, and I learned especially about the art world in the art world in our country, and also I went to Italy to school, and I had some very nice experiences, but I stopped because I wasn't learning what I wanted to learn. I guess I had to take a different course, and yeah, I always like to create things and make paintings and make collages and make pictures, and I made a lot of installations also, like atmospheres, creating atmospheres, like also performances I gave, with music and masks, and I did a lot of different kind of things. But painting, I was always I loved to paint, but I didn't allow myself for a long time to just investigate the art of painting, and I kind of taught myself to do it and to force myself actually to do it because I wanted to be able to paint something perfectly. In school it's not so, the art schools I went, it was not so, they didn't really tell you or taught you, or the year I went to really paint. It's more like techniques, and you get your space and you can do what you want, but it has to look like art or something like, that's how I understood it. So yeah, and maybe it's a nice example, like that you can really teach yourself something just by doing it for a long time, like for a long time, and never give up. There are a lot of moments I gave up on these paintings. I thought, oh no, it's never gonna work, it's never gonna appear. Still, when I'm working on my flowers, for instance, because the flowers are very difficult, I sometimes think, oh my god, it's gonna look like nothing, I'm making mistakes, but actually it's in that process that I'm creating them, and when I continue every day, at some point it's like, here's the flower I wanted to paint. So yeah, it's really nice to think about that and to apply that to everything that you're doing. Like, you're in the middle of the process of creating things, and mostly the moment you are creating it, it's not looking like you want it to look, and it takes some time to go through the things and to allow yourself to be able to do it. Like, a lot of the times I'm just painting, and more in a meditational kind of way, like I just paint because it feels good and it allows me to breathe, and like I can express myself, I can give space to my feelings and my soul, and like, oh, I want to express this beauty, or I want to investigate some things, or yeah, like I told before, I really love colors, and but then suddenly, like, there's this moment, okay, now I'm gonna finish it, and it can take 1 year, like, okay, now I can finish it, and then suddenly I can finish it, and yeah, then that moment is like, it looks like, or it feels like, I haven't been aware for 1 year, and now I'm suddenly aware of what I'm actually painting. So yeah, it's interesting to compare this with creating your own life, or manifesting things that you desire, or because it's kind of the same process, but it's just with painting you can see it very practical. It's like you take the universe, the form of the essence of space of the universe, and you create. It's like you're creating your world actually. So it's a very beautiful medium to get to know yourself better, to go through processes of change, to transformation. And you can, you have, it's not only about the color, it's also about what you want to express. It's about, you can use different kind of techniques, you can use different kind of paint, and you'll have different kind of ways of using your energy. And you need to find also what suits you, like what kind of expression suits me. I also told you in the first video I made, we also, me and my boyfriend, we also practice martial arts, and I started learning a music instrument. And also those both are such beautiful expressions of our nature, and you can discover so much through those things. It's not just only the physical instrument you see in your hands, it's just so wide. And the same with the martial arts, we have to learn a form, but the aspects that you get to know about yourself, about our nature, during that process is just amazing. But sometimes you need to go through some things and allow yourself to express and to be and to breathe and to enjoy. So this is one of the 4 of the sequence I'm going to show you. They all kind of show a different element. Like this one is water, there's fire, earth, and wind, with a lot of imagination. But the fire and the water are especially very visible. I tried to, so when I came back from Nepal, I tried to take those elements and use my experience with the elements in my work. And so I'm working on many things, so you can expect some new things coming up, just day by day, processing everything. I wish you a very nice and beautiful evening, night, day, life, and a lot of love and creativity and inspiration. Thank you.